Tigers, Bulldogs, Saints. Welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Good morning and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that good stuff. It is DC Blitz. We are presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Tom alongside Casey, Coach, and Kelly will join us in a few moments. We're going to talk some middle school basketball here in just a moment. Before we do that, want to throw out a little housekeeping as a slight change in the DeKalb County High School basketball schedule today. The Lady Tigers and Tigers are both playing over in Sparta at the at Frank's Shootout, and they're playing day 3 over there in the consolation bracket. An update, the Lady Tigers will be playing against Tri-Cities Christian at 10 o'clock this morning. They have moved the Tiger basketball game. I got a message late last night. They have moved that game from 12:30 until noon today. So if you're planning on being at the game, get there a little early. If you get there at 2:30, it's probably going to be over with. So I want to throw that out there before we get started. In case you're making plans to go see the Tigers and Lady Tigers, you can watch them back-to-back today. Girls at 10. Boys will play at 12 noon. All right, let's say good morning. We've got Coach Matt Quarles. We've got Keegan Taylor. We've got Auston Parker. And we've got Hayden Quarles of DeKalb Middle School joining us right out of the gate. We got a busy show today. Guys, it's good to have you with us. Coach, you got a little break here in the middle of the season, I guess, a few days off. That's the one thing I want to start out with. How do you feel like maybe that'll affect you having so much time off? Do you feel like it's a good thing to get some rest? I'm sure you'll be doing some practicing, but can you get a little rusty over that time?
Yeah, I'm really I'm not excited with it because we were actually playing our best basketball right there the last week. We lost Avery Trace. In the fourth quarter, we were down 2 going into the fourth. We were up 7 on Upperman with 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth. We lost those games, but we competed, and then we had no trouble with Warren County, beat them by 20 or so. So we were playing really good basketball the last week, and then nothing for 23 days. We have no games for 23 days. So that's hard to keep kids focused, motivated, and of course they're going to have Christmas, New Year's.
Sure.
They're not thinking about basketball, so we've got to come back the first day back from the break and play a game against Prescott the very first day back. So we'll have to practice over the break some and get them back focused. But yeah, we were playing pretty good basketball, the best we've played all year, the last week, and then a 23-day break. So.
You've been this close in a lot of games all season. You and I have corresponded, and of course, if you follow the middle school team, you know, so close, Coach. What do you feel like it's going to take to maybe get over that hump? You're playing against, when you mention Upperman, Avery Trace, they're right at the top of this conference, and you're that close. What's it going to take to get over that hump, so to speak?
So Avery Trace is undefeated for the whole season against anybody. Upperman's lost 1 game, and that was to Avery Trace. Mm-hmm. So they're the best 2 teams around, and we have had a chance to beat both of them. We're going to have to just finish games. We got to hit free throws down the stretch. Against Upperman, we went 0 for 4 in the last 2 minutes. We went 4 for 10 for the quarter. They went 7 for 7. So when Upperman goes 7 for 7 in the fourth and we go 4 for 10, we had some turnovers that we didn't have the whole game. Like I was telling you earlier, mm-hmm. They ran the same press they ran the entire game. We ran the same press break, but yet they turned us over with 2 minutes to go. That they didn't turn us over earlier. So it's just not being satisfied playing 3 quarters. I think our kids were playing against teams that are supposedly better, it's supposed to be these great teams, and I think they're happy competing for 3 quarters. Oh, we got them. We're tied. We're down 2. They feel like it's a victory already. We've got to finish 4 quarters. And if we ever do that, then I think we can beat both of them, honestly. I think when the tournament time comes around, we have a chance to win the whole tournament. I really believe that.
Is some of that nerves maybe down the stretch, you think?
I believe so. And honestly, that's where I text Coach Braswell after the Upperman game, and I said, what do I got to do differently? What do I as a coach? Because when you start losing all these close games, you blame yourself. And you just got to. He said the kids just got to make the plays down the stretch. I mean, there's I'm sure there's things that I can do differently, maybe to calm them down. But it's the last 2 minutes they've just got to hold their composure, and I guess I have to as well. I don't know. We're searching, so I mean, hopefully we'll figure it out. We got some really good athletes and some good kids, and hopefully we'll get it going about January 16th, 20th, somewhere in there. The tournament comes around, and we'll be playing our best basketball, hopefully.
That's when you want to be playing your best basketball, Casey.
Well, I would say to the boys, how does it feel to be the 3 best DeKalb Middle School basketball players?
Don't answer that question.
You've lost a bunch of close games like we talked about, but you've won, especially in the second half of the first half of the season. Seems like y'all have gelled as a team a lot. Have you finally come out of football mode and started playing basketball, or what's been the difference?
Yeah.
Anybody? Keegan, what's been the difference for you?
I don't know.
Well, that's a great answer, Dan.
Well, Keegan has finally started shooting the ball, so that's one thing. We've been on Keegan I've only coached him in basketball for 2 years, but the entire time he doesn't want to shoot the basketball. But against Upperman, he was 4 for 5 from three-pointers, and the fifth three-pointer rimmed in and out. So he shot 5 times the whole game, and he hit 4 of them. So Keegan has started shooting the ball a little bit more. We're used to him shooting once or twice, but he's starting to shoot the ball. So I know that's been Keegan's improvement, is he's actually letting the ball go now. So
How many times can you hear somebody from the stand say, shoot?
What?
Yeah.
How many times is it Casey?
What I was actually going to ask is, really to Austin and Keegan, is how many times have you heard your daddies yell from the stands?
Every game.
Yeah.
I never yell.
I sat next to Keegan's dad just for that sole reason. It's the experience of a lifetime, I'm telling you. Hayden, how's it like being coached by your daddy on the middle school level?
It's hard.
It's a little bit different than being in rec ball and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, what's so hard? Is he harder on you than everybody else?
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda. Well, it's tough being great. That's the problem. So
I want to ask this question because Kelly was talking about this last week. We had her dad on, and the ride home from the basketball games. Hayden, what is that? What are some of those conversations like, especially if it's a long trip back with Dad?
I usually try not to ride back with him.
And that's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah.
that is correct. He rides with his mom most of the time. So
Now, what about around dinner time, the dinner table? Is there a lot of basketball talk, or is that a no-go?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
would y'all just get up this morning and decide you was going to come over here and not say anything but one-word answers? This ain't going to work.
They
y'all.
came to get breakfast. They came to get breakfast.
Yeah.
That's the reason I showed up,
Coach, you're in a tough district. A lot of Cookeville teams that Crossville seems like maybe they've gotten somewhat better at least this year. How does that affect, like if you were in a different district, do you think that would have affected, the record so far this year?
yeah, I mean, if we're in a weaker district, I mean, I think we're a really competitive team. We're just in a really tough district. I mean, I think our record's 9-8 right now. And most of our losses are district losses. When we play outside district, we very rarely lose, But the main difference between DeKalb and the other counties are they have elementary basketball. And we do not have elementary basketball here. And it shows when they get to 6th grade. And we need elementary basketball. Northside needs a team. We need to find a coach for it. If that ever happens, because Upperman has elementary basketball, Stone has elementary basketball, White County has elementary basketball. They're playing in 3rd grade, a lot of them. Danny Fish used to be my neighbor, and they moved to Warren. Well, Kara, his daughter's same age as my daughter, and she's already got 2 years of school basketball in. My daughter has not played yet, So we can't keep up if we don't have elementary basketball and we don't get on a system in the county. We're behind in middle school, and it translates to high school, So We have to do something structurally in the county if we ever want to compete at the level that these other counties compete at. And right now, we get them 6th grade, and we're teaching them how to do a left-handed layup. We're teaching them what foot to jump off of, and Upperman's already running 5 different offenses and defenses and have their plays, and it's plug and play, and we're still developing the kids at 6th grade. And you're going to develop them forever, obviously, but they're so much closer to a finished product when they get there than we are, and we just got to do something about that if we ever want to compete in this district, which high school's changing districts. We're not, that I know of. I know Upperman, I've been told that they're going to AAA in middle school, which we're AA. So we might not be in the district with Upperman next year because they're growing. But we still, that should be the goal, is to compete with them regardless if they're AAA or AA,
Matt, I want to jump in there because you and I actually talked about this before we went on the air, and of course you got to have a coach in place to do that. But how would we get that started? What are things that can be done? People out there that support basketball that want to see this happen, because you're exactly right. When you go to Upperman, when you go to Livingston, when you go to White County and all the schools around us that we've been playing for years and years, they're playing elementary school basketball. They're starting at a young age. Here, when you get to 6th grade, you're, like you said, you're still teaching fundamentals. How do we get that started?
Pick up the phone and call Coach Braswell. That's it.
Bad Coach Braswell coming out of retirement.
I don't think he'd mind that too much.
Well, Coach Braswell works with a lot of these kids, so that's where actually the kids are getting a lot of work right now before they get here, which he can only do so much, and
Sure.
if the parents are willing to bring them and meet them at a gym and stuff like that. So they are getting work, but they're hundreds and hundreds of gym hours behind, and 60 to 80 games behind by the time they get to middle school than other. We have to get the school board to just get it started. We're just going to have to do it and quit talking about it, and just somebody's going to have to step up to coach. We got to find a coach, obviously. Somebody's got to step up to do it and get it started. And I think once it gets started, it'll stay. It'll stick. We never had a sport that started here that's fell apart or went away that I know of. Maybe there has been. I don't know.
Hockey. It's funny you bring that up because we've talked about that general idea a lot on the show about how I truly still feel like as far as athletes go, we have superior athletes to all the counties around us, at least on the same level at the very least. But basketball is a little bit different animal than, say, even football or baseball, something like that. You almost have to be a basketball player to be, super competitive, on a very high level, as opposed to even baseball and football where, there is an off season and you don't have. I guess you do have some travel football teams around, but not on a grand scale. Whereas in basketball, you're constantly trying to hone that skill in, and you really need, to be in it all year round.
Yeah, if you can't shoot a basketball, it's hard to win at basketball. And if you don't practice shooting basketball, it's like football, you can out-athlete people. You can, it is scheme, does matter too. I'm not taking anything away from any of the coaches. They've did a great job here this year. But we had really good athletes, and when Reed Midget went on the football field, he knew he was the best football player on that field in his mind. Gavin Frazier knew he was the best football player in his mind, and that's what you have to have when you go into the game. Our boys go into basketball knowing in their mind that they're not the best player, and they haven't, like you said, they haven't really worked on the skill that they have. Football's go out and hit, tackle, run faster. You have to work on your ball handling skills. You have to work on your shooting. You have to work on defensive positioning. And there's just a million things that you have to work on that doesn't get worked on except for during basketball season. They don't do any on the side, and some of these guys do. They play AAU and things like that. But as a whole, we don't have enough kids. I asked the kids the other day in the locker room after one of our losses, how many kids in here are basketball first? Like, how many kids do you – in this locker room, however many we have in here, how many call basketball their number one sport? And I think we had three or four kids. Yeah.
Hayden and Auston.
Yeah,
we had, out of 15 kids on our team, 16, we have, 3 or 4 kids that consider basketball first. And, we can't we can't win in DeKalb like that, you know, because Upperman, their whole team's going to raise their hand, and then their baseball team is, a lot of kids are different from their basketball team, different from their football team, but we're all using the same athletes, and we have to have basketball first players and that starts by getting them interested in early on, because football's taking all the players. Great for football, but they're taking all the players. By the time they get to middle school, nobody really cares that much about basketball. Honestly, that's what I've noticed, and I mean,
Well, I'll say this. We do have a lot of good athletes on this basketball team. And one of the most encouraging things to me as just a fan to be able to watch it is to see the growth in this team. And I think you can even recognize that, being as close to it as you are. This team is a lot better team now than it was that first couple weeks there, because – you know, number one, they've come out of football mode, it seems like, finally. And two, they've really gelled, and it seems like, you know, we give Reed a hard time. Even Reed is starting to really enjoy basketball now. So if he is, I know all the rest of them are, because he'd be the last one in anyway, probably. And it shows on the court. You know, really, on paper, that Avery Trace team, we shouldn't be competitive with them. We shouldn't even be in the game with them. And yet we was until the fourth quarter, and it took everything going wrong for us and everything going right for them to pull that out. So stuff like that is very encouraging as a fan to watch the progression you've been able to make with the boys this year.
I feel like they're all play very well together. Like, if you look at the scoring sheet every night, it's going to be somebody different. We came in thinking that Hayden was going to lead us by far in scoring, and because, you know, and that's kind of what we expected. But he's getting a lot of boxing one defenses, and he's getting everybody's best defender every single game, and so that made Keegan step up. You know, he's got open threes. He's knocking them down. Parker's, and of course, I expected Parker to score this year, but he's scoring. Reed's scoring. Reed's actually our second leading scorer right now at the moment.
Don't tell Casey that. He'll make him stop scoring.
But it's all close. Like, if you look at our box scores, I mean, you know, we got kid averaging 9, 8, 7, 6, 8. You never know. Gavin can score. All five, and Skylar Harriet, he doesn't get any publicity really, but Gavin missed the Avery Trace game. Gavin he didn't play in the Avery Trace game or the Upperman game. And Skylar Harriet stepped in, and I mean, Skylar, he can score fast, and he plays hard, and he boxes out, and he's not a big guy, but we ask him to play as a big guy, and he gets down there and mixes it up. And I think he's like our third leading rebounder on our team, and he's not a starter. So, yeah, they really play well together. I don't think there's any selfishness. All these kids, they like to see each other do good. I mean, they pull for each other, and I think maybe at the end of the year that'll make the difference where, you know, some of these other teams, they got one or two kids that are doing everything. When we lost to Upperman, a kid had 25 points against us, and another kid had 13. They only had 3 kids that scored the whole game. One kid hit a 3, and then the rest of them, 38 points, were from 2 kids. You can't do that with us. Like, if you guard Hayden, you face guard Hayden, one of these other boys are going to score. And so I think at the end of the year, we're going to have the best balanced team in our district. And hopefully we can all put it together one night, you know?
Yeah. I've been really impressed with Sky and even Brantley Brooks coming off the bench. I felt like they stepped right in and really helped.
Brantley hasn't played as much as I know he would like to, or really I wanted to get him in there, but it's hard to take Reed and Gavin out because they're just so physical, and Reed, especially with the rebounding, and Gavin with just the hustle on defense. Reed's averaging around 9 rebounds a game, which at the beginning of the year he wasn't getting a ton of rebounds. He's been in double figures almost every single game for probably the last 8 or 10 games. He's had 10-plus rebounds pretty much. But Brantley, when Gavin and Reed get in foul trouble, which is all the time.
Yes.
Against Warren, Brantley came in and hit 5 of 6 free throws down the stretch in the fourth quarter when Gavin and Reed had both fouled out. And that's when it woke up to me like, well, hey, Brantley can fill their shoes a little bit,
yes,
you know,
absolutely,
a little bit more than I thought. And so, I'm going to look to try to get him a little bit more minutes if possible. It's just hard to get Gavin and Reed out of the game unless they're in foul trouble. Then I have to.
Well, it's really easy.
We're gonna talk to the guys here for just a minute because we're gonna have to wrap. We got a loaded show today. Ty Webb is waiting on deck. Coach Mike Braswell is here, and of course, this gymnasium, we're at the middle school gym, is named in his honor, and we're looking so forward to talking to him as part of our Legends series. All right, Keegan, we talked about your shots have been going. Is your confidence? Have you felt more confident in your shot?
Yeah.
What's helped that maybe as far as getting more confidence with your shot? Is it coach? Is it repetition? What is it?
Coach Matt.
Does he yell at you a lot to take the shots?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does he tell you as far as your shot? Because sometimes you look and maybe you don't feel confident, but what does he tell you in terms of when to take the shot?
I'm open.
So anytime you're open, you're looking to take it?
Yeah.
All right. He might get the award for the least amount of words.
If you're counting at home, because I was, that's 8 words, by the way. Almost a complete sentence.
Hayden, what do you feel like makes this team really special? Coach is talking about all of you being able to score, but one thing you think really stands out about your team this year?
Our teamwork is really good. We all share the ball pretty good.
Is that tough sometimes, or do you enjoy sharing the ball? Because a lot of players want to be the guy. I mean, you've got a bunch of the guys, right?
I like sharing the ball. Usually I get face guarded a lot, so I like passing other people and letting them score.
Now, you're a shooter as well, so is that something that Coach has also dwelt on you about? If you've got the shot, take it.
All the time. He's always yelling at me to shoot.
Do you ever second guess, though, taking the shot and maybe pass it up?
Yeah.
What is it maybe that gets in your head that makes you think, I don't know if I want to take this shot?
Usually when I'm open, I try and shoot, but they get on me quick, so that's usually what makes me not want to shoot.
Realistically looking, you've played every team in this conference, and you've played the best in this conference toe-to-toe. What do you think is the big difference, and what can y'all do better to get over that hump? Because I thoroughly believe you could compete with any team in this conference. What do you got to do to make that happen?
I think we need to score a little bit more and a little bit better defense.
And just confidence, probably across the board as well, right?
Confidence. Yeah.
All right, Austin, I want to come down to you, and first thing I want to ask you: you got an older brother, obviously playing basketball. Do y'all ever play against each other?
Yes, sir.
Have you beat him yet?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
If he lets me.
Who's the better shooter?
Probably him.
Him?
Right now.
Okay.
See,
For
that's
now,
what
right?
I love about Austin. He is the sweetest kid on earth. Every other kid would have said, well, I am.
Austin, what is it about your game that you are confident in right now? And maybe what's one area of your game that you feel like you still got some work to do?
I'm struggling shooting threes right now.
Okay.
I can drive sometimes.
What is it about the three-point shot that's making it difficult for you right now?
Some shots go in and out, and some I airball.
Yeah. So is that nerves, you think, sometimes?
I think I shoot too fast.
Too fast?
It's wind, right? No,
So what are some things that maybe you do to help with your three-point shot? Do you practice a lot on your own?
Sometimes I go outside, or I shoot after practice.
And spend a lot of time doing that. All right, we're going to wrap it up with this, guys. And with Christmas coming up this week, what's the one thing that you want for Christmas? All right, Keegan, we're going to start with you. Here's your chance. If Santa Claus is out there watching right now,
Ask them first.
ask them for. All right, we'll go the other. You want to start with? Okay, everybody's pointing at Hayden. So Hayden, what is it you want for Christmas this year?
Hopefully a PS5.
PS5. All right. Okay.
PS5.
What's your favorite game on PlayStation?
Probably college football.
College football. I can't beat that. I've kind of wanted one too, just for that reason. Anyway, okay. Who wants to go next? All right.
I don't know what I want.
You don't know what you want. He's still thinking about it. All right. We'll come down to you, Austin. What is it? That one thing you gotta have for Christmas?
Probably basketball shoes.
Basketball shoes. Any particular brand or kind?
Curry's.
Curry's. All right. Okay. All right, Keegan. There's nobody left.
Clothes.
Clothes. Any specific brand or kind?
It's
Clothes.
Just clothes.
Man, you had the stage, all three of y'all, and y'all didn't ask for a girlfriend. I mean, you could,
They're smart. They're too smart.
Grant some of this, don't he?
They're too smart for that. Coach, we're going to put you on the spot, too. What do you want for Christmas this year?
Well, it come in January. I want to win the district tournament. That's I don't need anything. I'd love to see these boys do something that we have never done. I mean, since we joined the conference, last year was the first year we won a tournament game. So I think we got the potential, and that's what I'm hoping for. I hope we can win the tournament. Hopefully, we get a decent matchup. You never know how the draw is going to fall. So
absolutely.
Hopefully, everybody's healthy when we get there. So.
I like that answer. So we're pulling for you for sure. And in fact, we're going to be back here on January 11th. We want to go ahead and put that out there. We'll be back to talk with Coach Quarles and a couple of more players, and we're going to be doing a live stream that day as DeKalb Middle will take on Stone Memorial. So mark your calendar for January 11th, and be sure to, did I say July? I think somewhere I said the wrong month. Anyway, it's neither here nor there, but we're going to be coming back that day, and we don't want you just to sit and watch the game. Obviously, come and be part of that, but for those who can't make it, we will be here for that. Coach, guys, thank y'all so much. Merry Christmas to you. We're looking forward to that and looking forward to January basketball. Don't get rusty, guys. Keep those jump shots going during practice, all right? And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right, stay with us. Ty Webb, he is signed with Maryville College for baseball. We're going to talk to him next. Coach Mike Braswell, as part of our Legends Series, is coming up. And our last segment today, Letters to Santa. We're going to do all that and more. This is DC Blitz. We're presented today by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. They can help out with all your business, auto, home, life, or Medicare insurance needs. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.decabinsurance.net. Tell them I sent you, and as always, go Vols.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
Hey, Sam.
Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Impact Physical Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Do you ever get tired of long waits at the corporate pharmacy? Well, let me introduce you to your hometown hero, Johnny's Drugs. Located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Our team knows your name and understands your needs because we're not just a pharmacy, we're your neighbors. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
When you've been in business for over a quarter century, you know you're doing something right. And they've been doing things right at Kilgore's Restaurant since 1997. When you ask people around town about the best place to eat, you can bet the name Kilgore's will be mentioned. From their amazing chicken to juicy steaks, fresh fish, succulent shrimp, hearty burgers, or flavorful pork chops, Kilgore's has something for everyone. Don't forget their hot bar at lunchtime, Mondays through Fridays, then bring the family back for dinner. They are open from 10 until 9 Mondays through Thursdays and 10 until 10 on Fridays. If you're on the go, you can phone in your order at 615-215-8249, then pick it up at their convenient drive-through window. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home.
At Love Cantrell Funeral, understand that this life with highs and lows. Every game has it, so too its final moment. Love Cantrell the opportunities. We provide care and professional fit your families. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding comfort in the time of sudden loss, we're here to support you every step of the way. Love Cantrell Funeral Home has been a proud sponsor of all DeKalb County athletics for over 65 years. Love Cantrell Funeral Home, where love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
When it's time to attack those outdoor landscaping projects, you want to go into battle with the tools that will help you get the job done right the first time. After all, your time is precious. When you're ready to go on the offensive, let Southern Landscape Supply get you armed with the best landscaping tools on the market. Southern Landscape Supply is the home of Bad Boy mowers, tractors, UTVs, and handheld tools. Bad Boy, with their legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value. Hustler mowers, DeWalt, Red Max, and Echo handheld power tools, specialty turf equipment, and more. Plus, they offer the best parts and second-to-none customer service. Ready to attack your landscaping project? Prepare yourself with the best tools at the best value. Visit Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville, or online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Smithville's Brands is the Heirloom, located at Wayne Street, in the heart of downtown. We believe that every client deserves personalized care. Whether you're looking at a stunning color or a rejuvenation, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at The Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have a little fun today. Oh, it's Christmas time. Christmas time. We've got Ty Webb in the gym with us today to talk a little baseball. Ty has just signed on to continue his baseball career on the collegiate level with Maryville College. Ty, good morning, and congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
What made your decision for Maryville? What stood out about them?
It's close to home. That's the big thing. It's not a big school. It's close to home. I think it's like an hour, 50 minutes, right at 2 hours there. Smaller school, so that means there's not as many players on the team. So I mean, my plan on going there is to play. I mean, that's where I want to play in college. So my thought process on that was go somewhere that don't have a lot of players, so I can stand out more. So they carry 40 to 45 players, which half of them are pitchers. So they got roughly 20 position players for the 8 positions to fill. And so they don't redshirt, injured redshirt, of course, but they don't redshirt. I mean, they said they recruit to play. I mean, they want to win, they want to play. So they said that any opportunity you get to win a spot, you're going to get a chance. They don't have favorites. They want you there to play.
I'm sure that was part of the recruiting pitch too. I mean, hey, you come here, you work hard, you're going to play.
Yes, sir.
So you're just not sitting around waiting for that opportunity, right?
Right.
Tell us about the program, what you know about it, the success that they have.
I know last year they won their conference. They got very far. Ended up falling short in the last few games of the World Series for that part of it, the college playoffs. But like I said, they don't carry a lot of players. The coaches are great guys. I mean, great people. They both have, one of them has a kid. So I mean, they're just good people.
Right.
They're good people. So.
Coach, I know you've done some scouting already on Maryville, so you're probably a little bit better to ask based on the knowledge you know about
There's good news, bad news. Bad news is I went football.
Oh,
anyway,
well, you at least looked at the right school.
We did look at the right school, a Division III school.
Yep.
In the process of changing conferences like you've talked about, and they may even be in that. What do you plan on majoring in, and does Maryville have that? Are you going to have to adjust your major to what Maryville has?
My plan was civil engineering, and they have civil engineering at Maryville. They have it's called a 3-2 program where you go to Maryville for 3 years, get your base in with the majors, get all your lower classes, and then the 2 years you'll go to Tennessee, University of Tennessee, to finish your degree in engineering. So that's the plan.
Sounds like a good plan. Second question, and I hope Maryville's really not listening, depending on the answer here. You talked about getting the opportunity to play as an incoming freshman, no red shirt, and use that possibly a springboard to go into the transfer portal, different higher visions of that?
I don't really plan on going to the transfer portal. I kind of wanted to find a home and stay there. I don't really want to do a lot of jumping around. I want to go play baseball, get my degree, and that's really just get my degree and play.
He's focused. I love it.
I do. Well, he's a Webb.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
and I'm wondering how much he's Maryville. It's not that far from home, but it's not that far from Tennessee. I'm wondering how many games he's going to try to make next year.
Yeah, for sure.
See, there's pulleys to when you're Maryville, you can recruit and say, hey, we're real close to Tennessee. You can go to the football game.
We might can get tickets. Might can do that. So with your upcoming season for DeKalb County, what do you plan to really work on to strengthen your game, prepare you better for Maryville?
The hitting side of it, it's a big difference as far as the pitching goes of what you get into college. I mean, you get to college, you see guys throwing 85 every day of the week, every day. I mean, you won't go a game where you don't see 85, 90 at all. I mean, so that's the off speed and the change-ups and everything, they're just a whole lot different. They just move a whole lot more than high schoolers do. You'll have some high school pitchers that throw and their stuff is legit, but then it's not like college level. I mean, college level, everybody is there to beat one another, and that's the main difference of college to high school.
Let me piggyback on that. How do you prepare for that? Because the way you're talking, you're right. You're not going to see a lot of pitchers probably that can throw the kind of stuff you see collegiately. How do you, maybe outside of just actual gameplay for the high school, prepare yourself for what you will see from a pitching perspective once you get to Maryville?
We have a machine over at baseball that you can run it up to close to 100 if you want to.
Yeah.
That's a big part of what we do over there at high school ball is you hit the machine every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of it. Once you get good on the machine, you start running that machine up. I mean, the off speed and stuff. I mean, it's machine, so we can do. I mean,
sure.
You program it to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's hard to hit sometimes.
Can it replicate movement though?
It can.
Okay.
Yes, curveballs change. I mean, it can even throw a knuckleball if you want it to.
Wow.
I mean, it's a legit machine. So it's definitely a good investment to have for everybody to be more successful on.
I know we have, coaches in golf that the players go to a swing coach.
Right.
Do you have a hitting coach, or does that fall on your dad? Does that fall on Daniel? Where do you get that help from?
When I was younger, I had a hitting coach up in Nolensville. I mean, I played travel ball up there, and my hitting coach, that was a big hitting coach. He taught me a lot. He played college ball. He played at Georgia. I mean, he was good. But it's mainly Dad. I mean, it is. He's been there every step of the way. I mean, bad game at high school, bad night at the plate for high school ball, if I was frustrated about something, I'd go hit. I mean, that's the enjoyable part of having your dad as a coach. When you want to hit, you go hit. I mean, that's a big part of why I am where I am, is because I had the opportunity when I wanted to work. I didn't have to worry about finding a cage to go hit in. I mean, he was there, and that's what we did, was hit.
Well, I've just seen him on a football field, and I know the determination, the mentality, and the approach to that. I have no doubt that you're going to carry that same success to Maryville with you, and I wish you all the luck.
Appreciate it.
I've seen him on the baseball field. I can tell you for a fact he's better, I think, in baseball than he even is in football. Do you know what you're going to play up there? Are you going to catch up there?
Honestly, the camp that I went to get out there for Maryville, I went as a catcher outfielder. And so that's kind of, I think they recruit me as a utility guy. I play where they need somewhere, and that's my mentality going up there is if they need a spot, that's where I'm going to put the most work in and try to win that spot. I mean, I know that there's some guys up there, seniors, that have been up there forever that are good, and they're gonna get the first chance at their spot that they've earned the last few years. So my mentality is go where a senior just left. Go where, I mean, if it's second base, third base, outfield, wherever it needs to be, that's where I want to be. I just want to be I want to be on the field somewhere.
So Ty is just like all of his other brothers. It's just that, very determined and very, I've got this task and I'm gonna accomplish it. I've watched you do that in baseball for years and years and years. Do you have any fears about being able to transition to the college side with that same approach?
Not really. I mean, you can't go into it scared. I mean, you can't. So that's my big thing, is not really have anything to worry about. Go play and have fun is the big thing.
Yep. The have fun. See me after. I've got an awesome. There is a really good lake really close to Maryville College up there that not many people know about, and the fishing is fantastic.
Well, I'll definitely hit you up about that.
Casey knows all the spots, right? Ty Webb, our guest here on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Hey, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm afraid I'll start coughing, so I'm trying not to talk too much. So are you excited, I know, about you're going, you said you're not that far from home. Did you choose that so your parents could still make some games?
I did, which is going to be hard for them to make games, especially Dad. I mean, being the coach here, I mean, those games run into each other a lot. I mean, I remember when my brother was playing middle school games, Dad didn't get to go watch many middle school games of my brothers, so it's going to.
Do they have turf, or are they?
No, they're all natural.
All natural. Well, then weather may weather may help you, may
Right,
hurt you. But
right.
I know when I did the same when I went to college. I chose somewhere. The first time I chose somewhere my parents could go.
Yeah.
And the next time they had to drive.
Well, Ty, we wish you a lot of success on the next level. No, you're going to be. Let's talk about too. I want to mention this is your senior season, so I know that's important to you.
Right.
Yeah,
means
how
a lot
good's
to
that
you.
baseball team going to be?
There you go.
Good. I mean, we got a lot of young guys coming in. We lost a lot last year. A lot of main keys to our field of play. So I mean, we're going to have a lot of young guys that's going to have to step up and prove that they can be there. I mean, it's coming from middle school to high school. It's a big jump. No different than high school to college ball. I mean, it's gonna pitching's better. I mean, middle school. You don't see much off speed. You don't see many pitchers running it up there. I mean, high school. You're gonna get some guys that are legit. I mean, Upperman's they got guys. I mean, Livingston, Stone. I mean, all of them got guys that can run it up there that are college level baseball players. And
right.
So that's the big jump the young ones have to make is understand. And we still have some middle classmen that have not had the opportunity that are going to have to step up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Pitchers are going to have to do what they are coached to do.
Sure.
You're talking about being a utility player going into Maryville, and I know you don't get to necessarily be a utility player in the college or the high school scheme right now. Is that something that you and your dad have discussed, that maybe try to get you some playing time in the outfield so you can?
It's not really necessarily the whole. It's more my body. I mean, catching 35
rough.
games in one season, every single game, it gets rough on your legs, on your arm, mainly your arm. I mean, but we've discussed some things about maybe putting me somewhere else to benefit the team more. I mean, so we'll see what's in store for that.
You always got to do what's best to win, but you've also got the longevity. You can't get hurt in the first of the season, and you got to have you towards the end of the season, keep you fresh. I know Coach Quarles was talking about kids being sick, being tired. Catchers get tired. They get tired just like, I mean, they throw as much as the pitcher does.
Right.
Yep.
I looked at the football team.
Yeah.
Things start going well. Football team comes to you. Any idea, possibility of going both sports?
I will be honest. The coaches, I mean, baseball coaches, they mentioned something about maybe talking to the football coaches if I wanted to right off the bat. I mean, they knew I was a football player too, and I love football. I miss it a lot, and I've thought about it, but I don't think I will be able to play football, play baseball, and pursue an engineering degree.
And that's the tough thing.
Yeah.
Because it's an additional job on top of what you're doing in school, and your hours of studying are going to double, and you want to throw another sport on top of that, and that's just ridiculous. Last question, and I'm done. What is a Scot?
They're Scottish, so they're. I mean, I went up to one of the football games up there, and there was guys in kilts and with bagpipes, and it was a different sight to see.
So we're going to expect Christmas card next year. You're going to be wearing a kilt.
No, I don't think you'll be seeing me.
I just want him to learn the bagpipes.
That would be a cool thing.
Yeah,
to learn.
yeah.
That would be something cool to learn.
There's your alternative to your major.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yes.
There's your minor.
Bagpipes 101.
Hey, I took canoeing and camping in college.
How's that worked out for you?
Well, we go kayaking down the canyon all the time. So.
Well, Ty, we're very excited for you, like I mentioned before, and we're going to keep tabs on you, and hopefully when you're on a break, once you get to college, you can come back and keep us updated on what's going on.
I will.
And we wish you the best. To sit here and listen to you talk, we see that you've really got everything lined out, focused, and I think that says a lot about your character, and I know without a doubt you're going to be successful, so we wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Absolutely.
My favorite thing about you is the role model you've been for your two little brothers. I know they look up to you, and you've done things the right way, and I know that makes your entire family proud of you, as it does all of us.
I appreciate it. I try my best. I try my very best.
Ty Webb's been our guest here on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance. DeKalb County Baseball Senior, their season, it's right around the corner. They'll start warming up in February. I'm very excited about when their season gets underway in March. All right, when we come back, part of our DC Blitz Legends Series, longtime DeKalb Middle School head basketball coach Mike Braswell will join us. Stay with us. DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Unrivaled service and practical advice from Jeff and Grant James at DeKalb County Insurance. With auto, homeowners, life and annuities, property and liability, Medicare supplement, and business policies available. Receive seriously good insurance with great coverage and prices. DeKalb County Insurance is an independent agency that shops multiple carriers, such as Erie, Allstate, Travelers, State Auto, Progressive, and many more. Call today for a quote. DeKalb County Insurance, 615-597-0660.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Need your medications? Johnny's Drugs has got you covered. At Johnny's Drugs, we make sure you get the prescriptions you need when you need them. No more waiting around like you do at those corporate pharmacies. Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Whether it's a quick refill or some advice on over-the-counter remedies, our knowledgeable staff is here to help you feel your best. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
Kilgore's Restaurant, where great home cooking has been their passion since 1997. If you're looking for a delicious lunch, the hot bar at Kilgore's is served up daily with plenty of home-cooked choices. Tender meats paired with 2 or 3 of their signature sides, all served up hot and fresh. If you're in a hurry, call 615-215-8249 to place your to-go order. Hey, don't forget, Kilgore's isn't just about lunch. They're also open for dinner Monday through Friday. Kilgore's also offers catering for your special events. Come on down to Kilgore's restaurant, where every meal feels like home. Open Monday through Thursday from 10 until 9, Friday from 10 until 10.
Just like the exciting, life is filled with moments. At Love, we understand when the moment comes, you want moments with dignity. Whether you're celebrating a or finding solace, our compassionate provide the support. Love Cantrell Funeral Home to guide you through with respect and professionalism. Love Cantrell Funeral Home is a proud sponsor of DeKalb County Athletics through 3 generations. At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
Bad Boy Mowers is giving back to all those that risk their lives to protect and defend our nation. Our Bad Boys of America Zero Turns for Our Heroes program is available for a limited time at Bad Boys Nationwide Dealer Network. Qualified buyers, that's veterans, active duty military, first responders, EMTs, firefighters, and law enforcement, receive up to 25% off MSRP on all Bad Boy Mower models. And some really cool Bad Boy Mower swag. Find your Big Boy Mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at southernlandscapesupply.com.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is located at 107 West Main Street downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe serves exceptional service in person. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, or a rejuvenating facial, our licensed barbers, cosmetologicians, is here to make your vision a step into our relaxing and friendly. You can unwind while we pamper you. Your action are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing your song?
I'll say we are. Yeah, let's sing it now.
Okay, Simon?
Okay.
Okay, Theodore?
Okay.
Okay, Alvin? Alvin? Alvin!
What's Christmas without the chipmunks, right?
This is my favorite Christmas song.
Helium balloon.
Do what?
Helium balloon. Same effect. It works. It's great.
You sound like Maddox.
We had the record when I was a kid. I know people. Anybody young out there's like, what's a record?
I heard the original version the other day, and I was like, that's not any good. It needs to be the chipmunk version.
Yeah, that's got to be the Chipmunks. Got to be. We're back on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance, and as part of our DC Blitz Legends Series, we are honored to have Coach Mike Braswell with us today. Coach, good morning, first of all, and Coach Vance was telling us that you were a little upset with us that we had Coach Parkerson on before we had you on, but we want to apologize for that.
That's okay. We're Coach Parkerson and I are good friends.
Did y'all ever go up? I know there's not been a lot of games between middle school and West School over the years, but did y'all ever coach against each other?
A few times. I remember mainly in a tournament at Sparta at the White County Christmas Invitational. He had a very good team. We had a good team, and we met in the finals over there. We beat all the stronger teams, and we ended up getting the best of him, but it was a close game. He had some real good athletes. That was back in the day when the Hall boys were playing.
Oh, yeah.
And We scrimmaged a lot because since we did not play each other much, we did scrimmage a lot. So we competed.
Yeah. It's kind of like when Rocky and Apollo fought off camera. You know, you don't want to talk about who was better and all that stuff because you all were both great, certainly in your own right. Coach Braswell, what was it that got you interested in coaching, and how did you get started in the coaching profession?
Well, when I was a teenager, I started working with some young boys in church called the Royal Ambassadors. That was kind of a combination of Boy Scouts and some sports. And so we went mostly with the sports. Now I got, there was no Little League at that time in DeKalb County, no junior pro football or anything like that. And I got to working with the boys, and we had enough that we got a baseball team up and played some other young boys from Belt and one or two other places in the county so we played a few games, and that got me started in the sports aspect of it, and I could see how the young boys could develop and could learn a whole lot of the right kind of things through athletics. And so that was the beginning of it. Then I started, so I would open the gym in the wintertime, and we would go play basketball, the same group of boys. So it kind of got started with that.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing we talk about, you being at the middle school coaching basketball those years, but you've coached a lot of different sports, not just basketball. What all have you been involved with over the course of the years in terms of coaching?
Well, when I first got out of school, college, back in the dark ages in 1966, Little League had just begun. It started the year before I got out of school, and so as soon as I got out, they formed two new teams in the DeKalb County Little League system, and I was the coach of one of those. Kenneth Trammell, that a lot of people know, picked up the other new team. We were both, I think we both won 2 games the first year out of 15. We had a rough time, but had some good young boys, and after that year, we just had a lot of success. I worked them hard, but I loved them, and that's kind of been my philosophy through the years, is try to show tough love, but love the kids, and but work them hard.
Yeah.
And so we tried to out-practice and outwork anybody in baseball, and then on after I got into basketball. I did coach, at that time it was junior pro football, but the first Saints football team, I was the first coach. Didn't know anything about football.
Wow.
Still don't know anything about football. But we got some help and just worked them hard and played, and ended up having, we started out the first year with maybe 1 win, but ended up having successful teams. But that didn't last long because I was coaching baseball in the summer, football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and just spread myself a little too thin.
Yeah.
So they got a better football coach, and then I could concentrate on basketball.
I learned something new today. I didn't realize that you'd been the first football coach. Now, were you the first basketball coach at DeKalb Middle?
I was. The first 5 years after I got out of college, I worked at the high school as an assistant coach, and worked with Coach Harold Luna, and that was a big help and a break. I learned a lot there. Coach Luna was a very good coach, very knowledgeable. I decided that I'd rather be at a different level, so I dropped out of teaching, went back to school, got my master's degree, and the following year, the middle school opened up as a new school. And Elsie McBride had coached the College Street teams for several years and did a good job, and he retired. So I got the the basketball job when this school first opened in 1972. So I started it way back then.
How many years did you coach here at DeKalb Middle?
I think at DeKalb Middle, I was here around 25 years. I spent 6 years at the high school. So if that comes out to 33 or something like that, if it does, then I missed something.
Close. Yeah, math early on Saturday is not my forte for sure. But
I think 25 years. Well, 4 of the years that I spent at the middle school, I didn't coach. So because I was assistant principal, so I gave up coaching. But I spent a good part of my life
coaching basketball, coaching
Yes.
sports in general.
Yeah, but basketball mostly.
What's your favorite part about coaching basketball? Is it the do you
Well,
like designing the plays or out coaching the other coach?
Outworking the other coaches, maybe. I don't know that I ever outsmarted anybody. I wasn't a good strategist. I could adjust a little bit, but I just tried to have the boys prepared before the game for what was going to happen. I didn't change a whole lot during the games. The fun part about it was the relationship you develop with the young men or boys. I found that out especially when I went to assistant principal. They're just not the same. They don't look at you the same, and you're more the enemy if you're just a teacher or a principal. But the coach has a special relationship with the kids, and I think you can influence them a whole lot better when you have that kind of relationship.
You have carried on your coaching with young players even to this day. How did that come about? And talk about some of those more recent players that we're going to be familiar with that you're still kind of helping on the side, if you will.
Well, those players may not want me to say anything about them. I don't know, but I forgot the first question.
How did you get into did people approach you to kind of help as a, I don't know, off on the side kind of a coach and helping?
When I retired, when I first started coaching at the middle school, boys could not come out for basketball till they were in the 7th grade. And I inherited some good athletes. We had a real good team the first year and won 16 games and lost 1, I think. But there was nothing coming up. And when I had to make a cut, there were so many boys that did not get picked for the team, and I felt sorry for them, but they just didn't have the skill. And I promised them that I would start working with 6th and 7th graders on Saturday mornings, give them some practice so that when they got in 8th grade, they would have a better chance of making the ball team. I did that every year that I was teaching here, and it became known as Saturday Morning Saints. So with no junior pro, and that was really the only instruction they were getting. So even after junior pro started, I continued that because a lot of parents encouraged me and wanted us to continue doing that, and I enjoyed it. And I wasn't married, didn't have a family, so I had the time that I could put into it. And so that was the extra work that I did. After I retired, I spent several years and didn't have a good attitude toward the school and didn't have a good attitude toward young people because the last few years I taught, I was kind of the antagonistic person in school as being the assistant principal. I was more a law enforcer than I was an educator. And I didn't have the same relationship with the young people. So I left the profession with not a good attitude and spent 20-something years trying to entertain myself and trying to get by. And like the young man you had a while ago, Ty Webb, I got started back. He and his brother were my next door neighbors. When they were in about the 4th and 5th grade, I started taking them to the gym, working with them a little bit on basketball because I knew that their daddy had played for me. He was very athletic. They were athletic. So I started giving them some extra practice. Got involved going to see Ty's JV team at the middle school play. And it just evolved from there. I saw a young man that went to church with me, and he was on that team. He was the biggest boy, but he got to play very little, and I wondered why. And then when I saw him shoot, I figured out why he wasn't playing. This kid is Owen Snipes, and so I got to work with Owen, and hopefully he improved. And then some other parents asked me to work with theirs kids that were on the same AAU team as Owen and Ty were, and it just evolved from there. I got Ethan Roller was coaching their AAU team, so the following year I was his assistant and got to work with more of the boys. Then he dropped out when COVID hit because he was afraid he was going to bring COVID from Nashville, where he worked, back to DeKalb County. So I took over as their coach and did that for about 4 years. So the boys that are in high school now that are seniors, plus John Hendricks, Devin Fish, they were basically the AAU team that I worked with for 3 or 4 years. And so I have high hopes for this group of boys. They've started out in high school kind of on the rough edge, but they're a good group of boys. They've worked a long time in basketball, so I'm not going to say give me the credit for what they're doing, but they've been coached, and they got some good coaching from other places too. So even though they hadn't won as many games this year as we would like, they're a good group and good group of athletes.
Coach Mike Braswell, our guest here on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance, part of our Legends Series. Coach, as we've talked, and we invited Coach Quarles to come back on this segment as well, some things that we talked about during the first segment. You were one of the people that did take time, the Saturday morning Saints, and you've worked with kids all these years and helped develop them. Now we're seeing teams in our area, they're starting out much younger, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and maybe we're not getting our kids as much training at that point in time. Do you see that, and what more do you think could be possibly done to help nurture kids at a younger age to get them interested in basketball first, and two, to lay down the fundamentals and have them ready once they get to that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade level where Coach Quarles is?
Well, I definitely can see that we're behind in teaching fundamentals as other schools around. I don't know when they started. That was not as big a thing when I was coaching in middle school in my early years. Of course, we have the junior pro system now. These other schools, as far as I can understand, the high school coaches organize and get people coaching these younger kids kind of into their system. Mm-hmm. I mean, Upperman is great at that. Way back when I first started coaching, it was Baxter, I think. They were one of the easiest teams on the schedule to play and to beat.
Yeah.
That's not the way anymore. And they completely changed their system and started. Of course, we don't have the elementary schools to have teams at a lower grade as much as some of the other counties do.
Sure.
I think getting the high school coaches involved, not in coaching the younger kids, but maybe getting proteges to help work with the younger kids definitely would be an improvement.
Certainly, we'd love to see that. That's something, again, I know Coach Quarles is very passionate about that. We were talking about earlier in the program, and it really does. It starts at the top, and when you look at Upperman, I mean, Dana and Bobby McWilliams, they've done a phenomenal job over there, and I remember the days when they struggled in basketball. Matt, I want to come back down to you because I know to this day the man sitting next to you here, he's been a source of, somebody you can always go to when you need advice, and just kind of want to talk about that a little bit more, what Coach Braswell has meant to you and how he impacts your coaching, still to this day.
Well, he's been pretty much, I guess, probably my number one supporter since I've took over. He's texting me. We talk sometimes on the phone. After the game, I've reached out after Upperman game asking him what I could do differently. But I just want to tell him thank you for what he does for my kids personally and a lot of the kids in DeKalb. Like last night, he was at the First Baptist Gym Church from 8 to 10 o'clock working with kids. And he's constantly putting in his time. And you won't find a kid in DeKalb County, I know, in high school, middle school, and even younger. Colt, my younger son, is a 5th grader, and they all love him. He works with them all the time. And so earlier when I was saying that the kids come to me and don't know what foot to jump off of and things like that in 6th grade, those are the kids that haven't worked with Coach Braswell. Mm-hmm. The ones that have worked with Coach Braswell, we don't really have to teach that fundamental stuff to. It's the ones that have played football and didn't play basketball until 6th grade. Sure. That's the ones that you're having to train everything into. But he has put a ton of time. I promise you, it's hundreds of gym hours with these kids and nobody knows about it really unless you're a parent of one of those kids. And so he's very much appreciated, and a lot of people, there's a ton of people that love him. So.
Yes, absolutely. And we're talking generations of people that Coach Braswell has impacted. You mentioned that, and Coach, I'll ask you about that. Do you have a time set that you work with some of the players, some of the kids? And because if there are kids out there and parents and you're well known and beloved for sure, I mean, what can you offer them that a time and place or something where you work with them and help them develop these skills?
Well, I don't have a particular time and place. It's hard to get a gymnasium right now to work with. I do use the church gymnasium. I have been able to use the middle school gym a whole lot in the past. It's not an organized thing. I keep doing it mainly for getting ideas from Matt of who might make good basketball players, talking to ex-ball players that have sons available, and that's where I get most of the boys that I work with.
Sure.
And I have the time to do that while I still have the energy. That energy is draining, but the years do that to you. But I pick up just from coaches and some parents that want me to work with theirs kids and try to continue with the tradition. I have to schedule that around high school basketball, around middle school football, around middle school basketball, around church activities. So it's just a hit and miss as to when we can do it or
sure.
when I do it. But these boys are my family. I don't have children. I don't have grandchildren, so I kind of pour out my love and time on them, and so they become my family.
Casey, I know you're down there dying. You've got questions. I can see it in your eyes.
I was just going to ask Coach if he remembers me as the all-time leading scorer in Saturday Morning Saints.
I didn't know who held that
record. It's me. I was thinking, I know when I was in 8th grade, you won the championship. I believe it was in Murfreesboro. It was a year that had John Stewart and Jermaine McCoy and all them on that
In
team.
Springfield.
Springfield, yeah. How many other championships did you win?
Well, as far as so-called state championships, we won twice, and I think Coach Agee won one after he started coaching here. So the middle school boys have had 3 so-called state championships. It's not like today. Now they're a part of TSSAA, and they have one state championship tournament. At that time, they were invitational tournaments. One was the James C. Hill tournament in Murfreesboro, which we participated in several times, but we always got put in the same bracket as Murfreesboro Central Middle School, and for some reason. So we had a hard time. We won some games, but then we usually got put out by Murfreesboro Central. So when Springfield began a tournament, they were drawing from the whole state. Central, the tournament in Murfreesboro was mostly for Cannon County and surrounding counties. So we started going to Springfield because we were placed in a bracket of schools our size. So we were lucky enough to win twice. The first time was a few years, with John Stewart, Danny Fish, and some of those boys. That was the first time. And then the last was about 4 years later in 1996. We were lucky enough to win it again. So we won 2.
You were the head coach at the high school for a couple years, weren't you?
One. One's all it took.
You follow Coach Luna, I think, didn't you, the next season after?
Yes. Ernest Ray went to the high school as a new principal, and he was my principal at the middle school, and he asked me to come along with him because they were needing a boys basketball coach at that time. And so I agreed, and probably was not exhausted but tired of the middle school. So I thought I would try it. Found out that was not the age group of young people that I wanted to work with or that I felt comfortable working with. So I only coached there 1 year. We had a good year. We kind of bombed out at the end of the year and didn't do well in the district tournament and got beat our first game in the regional tournament. But we had a good team, had boys that I had coached at the middle school, so that made it easier. But after that 1 year, I begged to come back to the middle school.
That was enough, huh?
That was enough. It's not that I had bad boys because they were good guys. It's just that I had a harder time dealing with high school aged students as I did middle school age students. Middle school students they're searching and they have their own particular problems, but I felt I could work with them and discipline the younger kids better, and I loved it more. So fortunately, the school board put me back at the middle school.
Probably the younger players were a little easier to coach, I would assume, because we've all been teenage boys, except you, Kelly.
Especially Kelly.
but when you get to that age, the stubbornness and all, I'm sure it was much easier coaching. As far as them taking coaching at a younger level, did you find that to kind of be the case?
Well, I did. Now, there are a lot of people that do not want to teach or coach at the middle school because that's such a transition period for young people going through the changes that are going in their life. But I just found it easier to coach them and work them than boys that already knew so much.
Coach, were you part of the 1978 Little League team that won state? Were you on the staff of that? I believe you were you not?
I was. I assisted Jimmy Gold with that group of athletes. And that was a good group of athletes, and they were good basketball players too.
What about that team? Because that's one of the teams all time from DeKalb County sports history that always stands out. But what do you remember about that team? Some special moments, or just the players themselves, or what stands out in your memory about that team?
Well, just the competitiveness of the team, and there were good athletes from Liberty area besides the Smithville area, and they worked together well, and it just has some dominant arms as far as pitchers are concerned that really stood out, and it's what carried the team so far.
Yeah. That was a special team, and a lot of great players that some went on and had great high school careers. Of course, that somewhat, I guess, kind of coincided when Coach Reeder took over. Of course, we've had him when he started as the high school baseball coach, and they had such a magnificent run for so many years of winning district championships. Stepping aside to any sport that you look at looking back, maybe some special memories for you that they don't necessarily involve championship teams, but some things that you cherish and will always remember that stand out over your years of coaching.
You're putting no man on the spot now.
I think it was coaching me on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that was no doubt, Casey. That's right up there.
His most memorable moment.
Talking about Coach Reeder, he was on my first middle school basketball team.
Yeah.
And he was he wasn't a super athlete, but he was a good athlete and dedicated. And as most of that bunch was, and like I said, they won 16 games and lost 1. We did not go to a state tournament that year because I didn't know you had to apply to do that. I thought if you had a good year that somebody would come and say, we want you playing. But
yeah.
It didn't happen that way. I feel like that team probably would have done well in a state tournament. Of course, the first so-called state championship was probably the most special because after you've coached so many years, you wonder if you'll ever win something like that. And so it was satisfying to come with a state championship, and we beat a very good team in Springfield Middle School that had a lot of very good athletes, had more good athletes than we did, but we were able to come back from a halftime deficit and beat them, and so that was real special. Watching your students go on and become successful, or watching your players go on and become successful is really the most gratifying part of the coaching, because it wasn't for the pay. You didn't get that much. The relationships that you developed, but seeing how those ex-players become successful, and like Coach Reeder as a teacher and coach and administrator, and I'm not going to name names, but I mean, I had lawyers, doctors. Dr. Jack Rody played for me. Dr. Doug Hooper played for me. Teachers, just good people in general. I mean, and most of them have been that way. There's some that are disappointed, just like there's always players that disappoint a coach. But most of them have done real well, and they're really the trophies in a coach's life.
There's no doubt you've had an impact on many, many lives in DeKalb County through your coaching, your mentoring. I think everybody knows who Coach Mike Braswell is, and you've had a profound impact. Even people like me who never even played sports, I've always held you in the highest regard because of all you have done for DeKalb County sports. And I think the people that or even on the outside like I am, seeing what all you've done, just humbly thank you so much for the lives that you have impacted, for the time, the hours. I think Coach Quarles said something about hundreds of hours. I'd go tens of thousands maybe at this point of hours that you have invested in the youth of DeKalb County. And you know, you mentioned not having family. I dare say you may have the biggest family in all of DeKalb County with all the people that you've impacted. And Coach Braswell, we just can't thank you enough for all that you've done. And I know all that you're going to continue to do because you love it so much. We thank you so much for that.
I appreciate that.
All right, well, we've got him. Anybody else want to throw something out there before we wrap it up? I know we're not going to get into your Saturday morning career too much, Casey. I know you're proud of it.
Are you still playing golf as much as you used to?
When I can. It takes me longer to get around, but I still play a couple of times a week with some good friends when the weather permits. And
that was the fun times. Him and Dad used to go some places, and of course, in the summer, being the only child, I got to tag along. So Coach Braswell has helped me with my golf game. He would die at my golf game now. But
we'll have to get some info on some of those conversations over the years that you were.
Well, sometimes I think they just let me drive the golf cart, and I went on. And
now, I will say that's one place that I did kind of dominate Coach Parkerson.
Yeah, Dad always says he would go play golf. They go every year, and they go play a golf somewhere. And I don't remember. I know we went. I'd gotten a little older. I was playing some, and I went with them. And Dad said, it's just like always. He says, I hit one good shot. He says, right at the end, makes you want to go play again. But Dad would be like, go up in the garage and find my golf clubs. And I'm like, are you going to play golf with Coach Braswell? And he was like, yeah. I was like, anywhere with a pool, can I go?
Well, you know what? I remember when Coach Vance was taking teams to state back in his golf coaching heyday, Coach Braswell was always at the state tournaments and other tournaments. I would go out to cover for the newspaper. And, you've not just been a coach and a mentor. You've been a big supporter and a fan of DeKalb County sports, too. I remember seeing him in a lot of those tournaments, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Of course, we're back in late 90s early 2000s on all of that. But, good friends with Eddie Hobson. Eddie Hobson, of course, helped me a ton. I always told Eddie, I said, when you stop helping me, I'm done, because I was an organizer. I was not a coach, but Eddie and Mike and I played several rounds together, during that time. And Mike beat the pants off of me, too, It wasn't no big deal. And but, yeah, he followed those kids, and it wasn't – it wasn't just go to a state tournament. It was these kids, these golfing kids, and I think it still helps people with their golf game today. Some of these high schoolers or middle schoolers, and it's not just basketball. And when we sit around all day long, we've talked about it, and Matt's talking about this generation of kids, but you've already brought it up. We moved back in the fall of '94, and I was able to work with Mike one year, but my wife is telling me about Mike Braswell, and everybody loves Mike Braswell, and it's not just her generation, it's the generation above, before her. Sure. That it's just one of those names. And I'm looking across the gym, and Gymnasium, it's Mike Braswell, deservedly so, and he's just had that presence in DeKalb County, constant, unwavering, relentless, and it's just, cannot say enough about Mike Braswell and what he's meant to this community.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we're going to let you go. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming out. Anytime you want to be on the show, you are more than welcome to stop by. I know there are so many more stories we could probably get into, but we're honored to have you here today. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us.
I appreciate you inviting me, and I've enjoyed it, although it puts me on the spot some. But I'll come back if the pay is more.
Okay, there we go. Right, well, we're all working for biscuits today, so we hope to be able to up our game a little bit in the future.
Look my stats up, Coach.
Coach Mike Braswell, part of our DC Blitz Legends Series. When we come back, letters to Santa, and we're giving away $100 to the best letter. Stay with us. This is DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. They can help out with all your business, auto, home, life, or Medicare insurance needs. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.decabinsurance.net. Tell them I sent you, and as always, go Vols.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Do you ever get tired of long waits at the corporate pharmacy? Well, let me introduce you to your hometown hero, Johnny's Drugs. Located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Our team knows your name and understands your needs because we're not just a pharmacy, we're your neighbors. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
When you've been in business for over a quarter century, you know you're doing something right. And they've been doing things right at Kilgore's Restaurant since 1997. When you ask people around town about the best place to eat, you can bet the name Kilgore's will be mentioned. From their amazing chicken to juicy steaks, fresh fish, succulent shrimp, hearty burgers, or flavorful pork chops, Kilgore's has something for everyone. Don't forget their hot bar at lunchtime, Mondays through Fridays, then bring the family back for dinner. They are open from 10 until 9 Mondays through Thursdays and 10 until 10 on Fridays. If you're on the go, you can phone in your order at 615-215-8249, then pick it up at their convenient drive-through window. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home.
At Love Cantrell Funeral, and that this life with highs and lows. Every game has its so too does final moment. Love Cantrell Funeral opportunity to earn. We provide professionals your family's financial. Whether you're celebrating or finding of sudden loss, you every step of the Funeral Home has been a proud sponsor of all DeKalb County athletics for over 65 years. Love Cantrell Funeral Home, where love is not only in our name but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
Want a mower that's tough enough to break all the rules? Want everything without sacrificing anything? Want performance for the long haul at an unbeatable value? The perfect balance of power and performance? You want a bad boy mower. Packed with power, muscle, simplicity, and comfort, the pro in you demands. It's your time. You deserve a bad boy. Bad boy mowers. Mow with an attitude. Find your big boy mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Smithville's Brands is the Heirloom, located West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. We believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at theheirloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at The Heirloom, where your beauty blooms.
Ghost of Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, my Christmas ain't complete either without Elvis.
Which is your favorite Elvis song? Christmas song?
This one's up there. Wow, it might
Blue
be
Christmas?
this one. You know, okay, Blue Christmas is everybody's Elvis Christmas song. Let me tell you a funny story. Any Elvis fan will know this. Y'all might know this. So Elvis goes in, he's made to do a Christmas album in 1957. And he goes into RCA Studio B to record this album, and they present him this song that he does not want to do. So if you've ever heard Blue Christmas, you hear the lady in the background doing the little high part. Well, Elvis told the band and her and everybody, I want this to be the biggest train wreck it can be because I hate this song and I don't want it on this album. And what came out of it was maybe behind Bing Crosby's White Christmas, the most well-known Christmas song ever. So even when Elvis tried to destroy something, it didn't work out. So personally, I like the Porky Pig version of that. But I could talk Elvis all day. But it is Christmas time. We did something a little bit special this week. And I thought we'd actually get more participation, but apparently everybody's rich around here, doesn't need a $100 gift card, and that's fine because we got 4 letters submitted to us. Yeah. And we're going to read those, and we're going to select a winner here in just a moment. Before we do that, let's share a little Christmas with ourselves here and just talk about some memories that maybe one big memory that sticks out in your mind. Casey's down there. What is he doing down there anyways?
He's looking up his stats.
His Saturday morning Saints.
2,000 points.
Okay.
I'll start. I'll tell you my Christmas memory. So I was a pretty rowdy kid, as you might imagine. But even when I was little, my mom and daddy had this thing. They always told me, if if you're not good during the year, you're going to get a bucket of ashes for Christmas. Of course, we had a wood stove and all that. And listen, man, it come down to the wire every year for me because I go to sleep that night before and think I don't know. It could go either way. And so I woke up Christmas morning. Sure enough, there's a big round bucket wrapped up underneath the tree. And so I, thought, well, yep, I didn't make it this year. But you know what? They're going to have to make me open it. So I opened every present under the tree and just wouldn't open that present. And they finally had to make me open that present. Turns out it was a box of Legos in those buckets you used to get. But I wasn't going to admit to it. I just wasn't going to open the present.
Oh, man. Coach?
Gosh, so many, growing up on my own with my parents and then, of course, having kids of your own, and we're all in that same boat.
Sure.
But I guess the funniest one on me, and y'all are too young, you will not know. You'll have to Google search this. There's this item called phony baloney. Phony baloney. And I'd seen the advertisement on television so much, and, we get to open the one present up before, on Christmas Eve, and so we opened up, and I'm looking for phony baloney, and I can't find phony baloney, and I am pitching a fit. Now, my mother was raising 2 kids, working 3 jobs, and my brother's like, phony baloney's just not in the cards this year. You can forget phony baloney. And my mom, bless her heart, she just kind of held back her tears and everything else and, just bit the bullet until Christmas morning, and there was phony baloney.
Right.
And she was just going to, hey, Santa Claus is bringing you phony baloney. I've got nothing to do with phony baloney. So, yeah, Santa Claus brought my phony baloney, and I was a happy kid.
What was phony baloney?
It was basically like a...
Spam.
Maybe. a large sausage bologna,
Okay.
And it was like a puzzle.
Oh, okay.
And you had little prongs coming out of parts of it, and it was sliced up, and then you had holes, and you had to fit the phony bologna together back in its original position.
Okay.
So, but I had to have it.
Okay. You just blown Kelly's mind here. She's like, what?
I'm just trying
They
to
didn't have much to play with in them olden days.
I'm going to Google that because I've heard of a lot of things, but no.
Phony baloney.
Never phony. I've heard of phony, I've heard that's phony baloney, but
it was a thing.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I'll Google it while you can.
There you go. Okay. All right, Kelly.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I can remember one year. The Tickle Me Elmos.
Oh gosh!
And I remember asking for is it Teddy Ruxpin that read you the books? I never got one of those. But the only thing I ever asked for really as a kid was a swimming pool. And we live on the Mother Rock in Alexandria, and so they tried to get a swimming pool, and there was no putting a swimming pool in without dynamite in half the town. So that was the only thing I never got, but. I don't know. I always had a big Christmas. I always enjoyed it. It always involved basketball at some point because we was playing in some kind of basketball tournament. Either Dad was or we were. But like Coach said, it's more special now that you have kids. It's harder now that you have kids because they won't tell you anything they won't.
It's because it's Christmas every day now.
Yeah. And so Amazon has ruined that. But I don't know. I can remember the year that I got the Tickle Me Elmo, and I wouldn't open it because I wanted it to stay in the box. And I was afraid to take it out. That was a big thing, and I think my poor mother had went to like every department store to try to find that stupid thing, and it's still at my house. I still have it. So
Now, I worked at Walmart that year over in Murfreesboro, and those things sat on the shelves for months, and nobody bought them. And all of a sudden, it gets close to Christmas time, and we had people literally get fired at Walmart because they were taking the things and hiding them, then buying them and selling them at a jacked up price. But yeah, I remember they sat on the shelves. Nobody bought them for forever.
yeah, I don't know why it was a thing. It only became a thing because it was on TV that it was a thing, and somebody had really good marketing skills.
Apparently. So coaches provided you with phony baloney, and you'll have to look it up at home. I don't know what that looks like.
To me.
It's a puzzle.
So
you just couldn't go for a regular jigsaw puzzle.
Nope. Phony baloney.
My thing growing up, I loved the old, and Coach, I know you remember this, the old electric slot car racing tracks.
You say old and come straight to me. Okay. Yeah. That's how this is going.
So I don't remember which Christmas. I was 5 or 6. I got the Dukes of Hazzard slot car racing track, and that was my favorite show growing up. And that was probably, of my childhood, the gift that stands out the most. But the Christmas that stands out the most was the year or two after that. And, as a lot of kids do, I would wake up in the middle of the night, go out to the tree, see what Santa had left. So I had gotten up a dozen times at least during the night. And, my room went out to a hallway toward the bathroom, and the Christmas tree would sit out in the hallway. And the entire night, there was no gift from Santa. And, as it got closer to daylight, I was just a squalling mess because I thought it'd been bad, and I didn't get anything for Christmas. So next morning comes, and I'm, just all bummed out. And I walk out of my room, and I go into the living room, into the kitchen. And lo and behold, on the kitchen table is a brand new Knight Rider racetrack set. Oh. So I always remember that because I was just so brokenhearted, and then all of a sudden to walk in and see that, as a 7, 8-year-old kid, that just that was so
Santa
exciting.
Claus did come through.
He did come through. Yeah, my dad would always rig these cars up. Like my dad was uber competitive, never let me win at anything, but he actually took my Knight Rider set, and he took the General Lee from the other one and rigged it up where he would always beat me.
That's awesome.
And then I would want to switch cars, and he'd rig the other car up. But those were fun times and great memories, and I had a lot of fun back for those days. All right, we got 4 Santa letters. Now, we've got to pick a winner here for the $100 gift card. And I'm going to read the first one. I had them actually all printed out for us all to read one, but I've lost my notes somewhere, so I apologize for that. This one I'm going to try not to mess up because this is supposed to be a rhyme. So here we go. This year, dear Santa, this year it's short and sweet until the Vols show up and bring the heat. It's been nearly 27 since Vol football felt like heaven. True fans are always supporting, but deep down inside, we're really just mourning. This year, I'm not asking for a lot, rather a ton. We need to end Ryan Day's so-called run. So bring Vol Nation together. It's for more than just fun when Smokey rolls in on December 21. That's Billy Fusen, the Fusens. They're big fans of the show, and that's Billy's submission. So we obviously know who he's pulling for tonight. I'm with you, Billy. Let's go Vols. So that's letter number 1. The second letter says, Dear Santa, let the Miami Dolphins have more than a 1% chance of making the playoffs. Love, Hayden Quarles. We should have kept Hayden around. He could have read his own. So he's a big Dolphins fan. All right. Next up, let's see. Coach, I was going to let you read this one because I may vomit. Dear Santa, please, for the love of God, let either the Dallas Cowboys or Texas Longhorns win it. Jerry Jones has no clue about football, so please take the reins of his mind. Please take Quinn Ewers out of the game and put in the best Manning. Arch Manning, that is, in the game. Thank you, Santa. I'm really tired of being first-round exits and 11-win teams. Signed, Andrew Cook. So, pulling wrong state there, Andrew. We're in Tennessee, but I know you love the Cowboys, so I
grew up on them.
Yeah. But good letter. That was a great letter anyway. Okay, the last one is okay. Here we go. Dear Santa. It's been a great year for DeKalb County Sports. Look at us now. Just wow. I may miss something, but I'm just one proud grandma of all the sports opportunities that our schools and county offer. I have 4 grands, and I can't tell you how many different games I've had the privilege to attend. From football, basketball, clogging at the Smithville Jamboree, baseball, and now the fishing team. Just look at us now. We have our own awesome DC Blitz sports show. Santa, I've had some hard years, but all this has left me with a lifetime of precious memories. It does not get any better than this. I love the DC Blitz. P.S. A gift card from Ace Hardware would be great. I might need some new fishing lures. Wink, wink. And there was actually a PSS to my letter to Santa. You see, my memory is not what it used to be. I've got too many wild elves to keep up with. I have to add cross country and tennis to my merry watch list. Ho, 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 watch 'em go. Signed, Lynn Kent. With that submission, I was wrong. We got one more. And give me just a second to pull that one up. I really did well to print all this out and left it all at home, y'all. I've got to get one of y'all to get my brain in focus here. All right, here we go. All right, last one. Dear Santa, I want for the First Bank Tigers basketball team to win it all. We are really good, and we try very hard. I would like for my brother Reed to quit getting in foul trouble and the Saints to win the rest of their games. Thank you, Santa. I hope everyone has a merry, jolly Christmas. Signed, John Casey Midget, age 9. So there are our submissions. And
it'll take more than Santa Claus to keep Reed out of foul trouble.
And we want to thank everybody again. We didn't have a lot of entries, but we're going to give a $100 gift card to the best letter. And Casey, we'll start at the end. We'll let you vote, and we're going to award this gift card before we wrap up today.
Well, I like that first one. I think Billy's on to the right thing. We need to get that championship for the Vols tonight.
All right. So we got one vote for Billy. Coach, how you feeling here?
I'm an ELA teacher. Can't speak it. I teach it. Like the poetry. Mm-hmm. Like Billy Fuson's. I thought that was very clever. A lot of thought goes into it. Obviously want Tennessee to win.
Sure.
Billy gets my vote.
All right, that's 2 votes for Billy. And I know Kelly's not going to vote for the Vols. So, Kelly?
I'm going to vote for John Casey because I just love John Casey.
We love John Casey. Watches us. Casey told me he watches us every week, whether Casey's on or not. In fact, he probably likes it better when Casey's not on.
Much better.
He just wants to say his name instead of Reed.
Yeah.
Well, boy, this is tough, and I always hate having to pick one. I'd love to give a gift card to everybody if we possibly could, but we just can't do it. And I tell you what, I'm going to give my vote to Miss Lynn Kent. She talked about all the DeKalb County sports, and what a year we have had in DeKalb County sports, and we're far from being done. You know, I think when all is said and done, this is going to be a year that everybody looks on with all the fall sports success. I'm convinced the Saints are going to get on a run going into the postseason. I'm not trying to jinx you, Coach, by the way. He's sitting over there watching thinking, please don't say that. I know he's going to jinx us. but I really do think it's going to be a good year. Spring sports, you know, they'll be here before you know it, and we've got some good teams coming up there. So, Miss Lynn, I'm going to vote for you. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. Billy Fuson is going to be our winner of the $100 gift card. Billy, we'll be in touch with you, and we'll get you that gift card. We'll get it to you before Christmas. We'll get something set up, and I'll meet up with you and get that card to you. But thank you to everyone who did submit a letter to Santa, and we'll do some more things like that. That's kind of fun throughout the course of the year. Well, group, this is the last show for this year. We're done. We're going to be off next week. Everybody's got big plans for Christmas, I'm sure. And anything anybody wants to say as we wrap it up, and we'll be back, of course, in a couple of weeks on January 4th. Casey, anything you want to say as we finish up? I think you've got something.
He's got something he wanted to tell us.
Yeah, he was excited about this when he got here.
Everybody gather around because Pappy Midget's got a story to spin.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
So,
John Casey, are you ready for this?
It does not have to do with John Casey. Actually, my buddy Bert Driver passed this little info along to me, and I did a little research. So check this out. So you're familiar with the Civil War and all that, and we've all heard of Morgan.
Well, Coach is, you know.
Yeah. We've all heard of Morgan.
You're alive.
There'll be some whippings after this is over.
Oh, me.
So we've heard of Morgan's Raid, right? If you've
Yeah.
been down 70, you see the sign out there. So let me tell you a little story. Brigadier General John Hunt Morgan inspected his troops on a cold first day of winter, 1862. Camped near Alexandria, Tennessee, Morgan's force was comprised of well-armed cavalrymen who rode to the inspection full of anticipation and enthusiasm. Many felt that something big was in store for them, and their often controversial leader gave them a right to be spirited. His fame as a victorious cavalier was rapidly growing in the South, and Confederate officers such as Bragg held him in high regard. President Davis, who visited the Army, was overshadowed by the events of the review and was also highly intrigued by the dashing 37-year-old. Slipping away from their camps the following day, Morgan led 4,000 cheering men northward. The Kentuckians of his command welcomed the chance to avenge the Union authority of their homeland by destroying the main supply lines between General Rosecrans' army of the Cumberland in Tennessee and his supply base in Louisville. "Tonight we are camped on the sacred soil of Kentucky," wrote one of his officers, "and it fills my heart with joy and pride to know that I am once more on my native soil." Despite days of driving rain, sleet, and snow, Morgan rode northward, capturing Union stores and small garrisons all throughout Ohio. A most vital link in the Union supply was destroyed, and Captain Morgan, or General Morgan, drove through all throughout Ohio, burning bridges and laying general waste to all residents in Ohio. My friends, the day that he left to make that journey was none other than December 21st, 1862. Who would know that this many years later, a group of Tennessee volunteers will again lay waste in Ohio.
And if they had to drive there, they would have to drive through Alexandria.
That's right. Yeah.
Or at least the exit on the interstate.
Yeah. Yeah.
162 years ago in 1862. I
No.
think my math is right.
No.
Okay.
I was not there.
Oh, I thought she was going to correct the dates since you were there. All right, Coach.
Gosh, how do you top that? I mean, that's just so fitting for our show and what's coming on later on today.
Yeah.
Looking back, and we began this, 16, 17 weeks ago, and I'm just blessed to be a part of this. And something I began several years ago is, you decide, you're going to make a change, whatever. I decided I was going to just start keeping track of those things that put a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And then the goal from that point on was to keep those things in my life.
Yeah.
And those things that did not put a smile on my face, you try to get rid of those. We're at the end of this calendar year. Christmas is right around the corner, and I encourage everyone to try to do that and get that bitterness out and get that godly spirit come into you and just keep it. And the more that you do that, the more you practice it, the more it's going to be there, constant, nonstop. And 25 is going to be better than 24. Amen. So thank you for having me on here. I love doing this show, and
thank
a great
you.
Group right here.
Yes, we do. Kelly?
I think everybody just needs to look for the good in people and quit looking for bad. I think you'll be, like Coach said, you'll be a whole lot happier to put the good things out there than the bad. And the middle school and the West school are going to win out the rest of the season.
All right. I like it. You know, the bad sometimes overwhelms. And for some bizarre reason, I don't know, this Christmas season feels like, and I'm guilty above all, it just says, I've not had the spirit this year. And I don't know what it is. I lost my dad. This will be the third Christmas without him. And certainly that's changed. The things I remember growing up, family get-togethers and all that, that's changed. A lot of that's gone away. And it's something that it hurts your heart to think about. The thing you have to do is to think about who you still have and cherish the people that are still around you, the family that you still have. And I've tried to make that kind of to piggyback what you're talking about, Coach, to look at the good things and make notes about that and to be thankful for what you do have and to cherish the memories that you've had, the special times, and never forget those. And, those are always going to be in your heart, but never forget what's going on today and who is there, the children, the people. If you still have your mom and dad, then cherish that. If you still have aunts and uncles, grandparents, cherish that. Someday we'll all be gone. Someday we'll all be spending Christmas with the one whom we celebrate this time of year. That's my hope for each and every one of you out there. Please don't forget the real reason for the season. We put so much time into presents and get-togethers and cooking and all of that. But if it wasn't for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we wouldn't even be celebrating Christmas. There would be no need for that. So please focus on the positive. Be thankful for all you do have. And above all, be thankful for the one we celebrate this time of year. And if you don't have a personal relationship with him, then I encourage you in 2025. Don't wait till 2025. Do it today. Find him. Tomorrow Sunday.
Best day to go to church.
Just, find him, put him in your heart, and I guarantee you, all those things that you worry about, that you stress about, that you hurt about, they won't be as painful because the love of him is enough to take that pain away. Folks, on behalf of our crew, we want to thank everybody for coming out today. We have had a fantastic show. I knew we would run late today. I didn't care. Well, other than Coach Quarles is like, get out of here so I can lock this gym up. But we want to thank Coach Quarles and his players, Coach Mike Braswell, Ty Webb, our producer, Daniel Leslie, for making the show happen. Thank y'all for all you do, and certainly for all of our folks out there, our sponsors, our viewers. We just can't thank you enough for making our show so successful, and we're ready to get 2025 underway in a couple of weeks once we do a little celebrating. So for Casey, Coach, and Kelly, I'm Tom Duggan saying so long for DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.